Bull.
Needs help?
Well, what is it? Oh, wait a minute. Now, wait for me.
Why?
The invincible Hollywood icon John Wayne survived hundreds of breathtaking gunfights on the big screen, and became a great symbol of masculinity in cinema. But when the curtain closed on fame, the toughest man in the world had to silently enter a brutal life-or-death battle with a hidden enemy in real life. Behind the dazzling glory, the fierce accusations from the media, and a series of family secrets, his final breath in the hospital left behind a shocking statement. That true dying wish will bring you to tears. A major turning point came for John Wayne when director John Ford resolutely fought with the studio to give him the role of Ringo Kid in Stagecoach. Despite initial doubts about the abilities of an actor,
Hiya, Buck. How's your folks?
Oh, just fine, Ringo, except my grandfather came
Shut up. Didn't expect to see you right.
accustomed only to low-budget projects. This risky decision proved to be a resounding box office success, officially catapulting the man nicknamed the Duke to the ranks of top A-list Hollywood stars. The combination of Wayne's imposing physique and dignified demeanor on screen quickly created a massive wave of adoration, reshaping the image of the Western hero in the minds of the American public.
Nothing's set yet. He offered me good money, but I haven't found out what I have to do to earn it. Would you like to hear? Yeah.
But as his career was on the rise, the Pearl Harbor attack plunged the United States into a brutal world war.
Shortly before 8 a.m., Japan launched a surprise attack on the United States of America by bombing the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii,
creating a complex turning point in the actor's life. Historical records show that John Wayne did not join the regular army because he was already 34 years old, burdened with the responsibility of supporting his family with 4 young children, and due to the intervention of Republic Pictures to retain him and protect its revenue. Instead of going to the battlefield, he participated in USO tours to boost the morale of soldiers serving overseas. But the fact that he did not directly serve in the military became a deep psychological trauma for him. This reality motivated Wayne to pour all his energy into building and portraying characters with extreme patriotism on the big screen as a way to compensate for his past. For the next 3 decades, John Wayne consistently dominated box offices worldwide, with frequent appearances in a series of blockbuster films that profoundly influenced popular culture at the time. Audiences witnessed his maturation in acting through his edgy roles in Red River, his courage in Sands of Iwo Jima, and his romantic, rugged charm in The Quiet Man. Not content with being just an actor, he decided to establish an independent production company called Batjack Productions to gain more autonomy in directing content and selecting scripts that aligned with his worldview. These strategic moves solidified his position through subsequent classics such as The Searchers and Rio Bravo, transforming the image of the solitary, resilient man into a pop culture icon for an entire generation. His glory reached its peak at the Academy Awards when he portrayed Sheriff Rooster Cogburn in the film True Grit. The one-eyed, aging, and flawed, profoundly human character completely captivated art critics, earning him his first Oscar for Best Actor. Standing on the stage before his colleagues and fans, John Wayne couldn't hide his emotion as he said, "I think I've had a great career thanks to the support of the public." This prestigious award was not only recognition for an outstanding performance, but also a well-deserved reward for his tireless dedication over decades on film sets. The resounding applause at the theater for the Western hero seemed to mask the turbulent aspects of his personal life. Behind the dazzling stage lights and the confident strides on screen lay a complex reality, with silent cracks beginning to appear. The demanding film contracts and the pressures of fame had inadvertently pushed his personal life into new and harsh challenges. Hidden sides of his private life. Fame brought John Wayne a luxurious life, but also placed heavy pressure on him to maintain family happiness. Court records and media reports show that the actor had 3 official marriages to women of Spanish-speaking descent. His first relationship with Josephine Alicia Sáenz, followed by his tumultuous marriage to Esperanza Bauer, and finally to Pilar Palette, all continuously became the focus of media attention. The protracted divorces, accompanied by numerous accusations of infidelity, fractured the image of the exemplary family man he had always strived to build. Despite the turmoil in his married life, the relationship between him and his 7 children remained strong. In shared memories, Wayne's children always affirmed that he was a devoted father, always striving to make up for lost time, and dedicate himself fully to his family whenever he wasn't on distant film sets. Besides his marital turmoil, Wayne was deeply involved in domestic politics as a loyal supporter of the conservative wing. He served as chairman of the American Ideals Film Alliance, an influential organization promoting anti-communist policies in Hollywood. This hardline political stance was directly demonstrated by his investment of money and effort in co-directing and starring in The Green Berets. The film was made to support the U.S. military intervention in the Vietnam War, a topic that was causing deep divisions within American society at the time. The actor's public statements and endorsements of military action drew strong criticism from anti-war activists, turning him into a highly controversial figure outside the realm of art. The controversy surrounding John Wayne's ideology peaked when his exclusive interview with Playboy magazine was released. In this candid conversation with journalist Richard Warren Lewis, the actor did not hesitate to make direct statements about sensitive contemporary social issues. He expressed his personal views on the civil rights movement, the status of African Americans, the fate of Native Americans, and offered his opinions on the LGBTQ+ community. These verbatim statements immediately caused a major shock to the public, sparking heated debates among academics and drawing fierce condemnation from pro-equality movements. Faced with immense public pressure and the backlash from a segment of the audience, Wayne remained steadfast, refusing to apologize or retract any of his statements in the press. This extreme steadfastness created a barrier between the actor and a new generation of viewers who were embracing progressive social values. His legacy was thus constantly plagued by fierce accusations from the press, causing the reputation of this cinematic icon to be repeatedly questioned. But debates about his character and political ideology suddenly became insignificant in the face of a new challenge completely beyond human control. A serious health crisis silently arose, forcing him to temporarily set aside his ideals and glory to enter a real battle for survival. The cruel verdict of fate began to unfold, challenging the will of a hero who had never surrendered to anyone. Double sentence. John Wayne's first major challenge came when his habit of consuming 6 packs of cigarettes a day led to a serious medical diagnosis of lung cancer. Facing the risk of both physical and reputational collapse, he decided to confront adversity head-on by undergoing a complex surgery to completely remove his left lung and 4 ribs. Immediately after his recovery, the actor proactively held a major press conference to publicly announce his health status and declare that he had defeated the deadly disease. This courageous act not only helped him regain public trust, but also transformed him into an icon of resilience in the face of illness, in the eyes of his fans. This real-life courage laid the groundwork for his subsequent steps on the film set, where the boundaries between art and life began to intertwine in a strange way. Years passed since that initial incident, and a twist of fate led him to the film The Shootist, directed by Don Siegel. In this film, Wayne played J.B. Brooks, a legendary sharpshooter in the twilight of his career, counting down his days due to a malignant stomach cancer. Medical reports and on-set records at the time confirmed that despite battling severe influenza and age-related physical decline, the cancer cells showed no signs of recurrence. But the actor's incredibly realistic and profound portrayal of a character facing death inadvertently became a grim prophecy for his own life later on. The film served as a dignified farewell to a legend of the Western genre, while simultaneously opening a new stormy chapter as the premonitions on screen began to become a stark reality. In early January 1979, a terrible medical setback occurred when Wayne was admitted to Hoag Memorial Hospital for a routine gallbladder removal surgery. During the procedure, doctors were shocked to discover that malignant tumors in his stomach had begun to metastasize to nearby areas. The actor was immediately redirected to a new treatment plan and underwent a major 9-hour surgery to remove his entire stomach to stop the spread of cancer cells. The body of the once glorious man suffered severe damage from the surgical incisions, causing a rapid and significant weight loss. Despite the excruciating pain he endured daily, the unwavering will of a Hollywood star drove him to make a final proud decision in public. 2 months after his life-threatening surgery, John Wayne appeared at the 51st Academy Awards, much to the astonishment of the audience and his colleagues in attendance. Witnesses who later confirmed that in order to stand and walk onto the stage to present the Best Picture award, he had to wear a tight-fitting rubber diving suit hidden under a loose suit to stabilize his frame and conceal his frail body. Upon stepping into the spotlight, he received standing ovation lasting for minutes from colleagues who understood the sacrifice and pride of a legend. This unwavering presence was the most formal and magnificent farewell he could offer to the world of cinema to which he had dedicated his entire life. The dazzling lights of the Oscar ceremony quickly faded, giving way to the harsh reality of his solitary treatment behind the hospital doors. The proud man finally had to shed the armor of a screen hero to face the ultimate limits of a human life. The fateful moments were approaching, bringing him back to his truest self, surrounded by loved ones. The final moments. The hospital room door at UCLA Medical Center officially became John Wayne's miniature world from the beginning of May 1979, when the complexities of his malignant disease no longer allowed him outpatient treatment. In the quiet confines of the hospital, the symbol of resilience and invincibility on screen now faced the most brutal physical challenges. Notes from his partner Pat Stacy and members of the Wayne family reveal that this man spent many sleepless nights silently enduring agonizing physical pain without the support of camera lenses or studio lights. The pride of a movie star gave way to a very human vulnerability as he realized the harsh limitations of life that he could not overcome with power or fame. In the days leading up to his death, the need for spiritual support and inner peace prompted Wayne to make a momentous decision. Records from the Archdiocese of Los Angeles and generations of his descendants confirmed that just days before his death, he requested formal religious rites. Archbishop Marcos McGrath personally visited his bedside to perform the baptism, officially accepting the actor into Roman Catholicism after years of discerning his faith through the lives of his wives and children. This event brought him immense peace, easing the torment of a life busy with the glitz and glamour of fame that had missed many simple moments. The fateful moment arrived on June 11, 1979, when Wayne's body completely failed him and he fell into a deep intermittent coma. During his last brief moments of lucidity, family members stayed by his side holding his frail hand. His daughter Asa Wayne approached him gently, asking if he recognized her face in the hazy haze of his final hours. The actor opened his eyes, looked directly at his daughter, and uttered his last words, "Of course I know who you are. You're my girl. I love you. This simple statement, devoid of profound philosophical meaning, contained the depth of paternal love, becoming an indelible memory for those who witnessed it before he drifted into eternal sleep. His passing left a huge void for his fans, but the subsequent burial at Pacific View Memorial Park Cemetery in Corona del Mar was conducted under strict security. Cemetery management confirmed that the actor's grave remained completely empty, without a headstone or any identifying mark, for nearly 20 years. This decision was made based on a family consensus to protect his resting place from the risk of desecration or vandalism by extremist elements involved in the political controversies of his lifetime. It wasn't until the late 90s that a small bronze headstone was placed, but instead of the Spanish inscription reflecting his hardened spirit, the family chose to engrave a quote about the values of tomorrow to guide the public towards tolerance and hope. To this day, documentary footage and accounts from historical witnesses continue to shed light on the humane ending of a turbulent life. The grave's silence for decades fulfilled its mission of protecting the peace of the man after he shed the armor of a Western hero. The debates of right and wrong among people now recede, giving way to a necessary silence for future generations to turn back the pages of the old chronicles. From the quiet footsteps in the cemetery, the flow of memory naturally leads us back to the first bricks laid in a distant land. The origins of the legend. All the glory and fateful moments that followed for this great man actually had deep roots in an arduous journey that began in Winterset, Iowa. On May 26, 1977, Marion Robert Morrison was born into a poor family, facing a life of constant movement due to precarious livelihoods before finally settling in Glendale, California. Early biographical records show that he had to deliver newspapers from early morning to help support his family, and was always accompanied by an Airedale Terrier named Duke. The presence of this four-legged friend led his neighbors to nickname him Duke, a simple childhood name that unintentionally became a legendary moniker that followed him throughout his life. As he grew older, his tall stature and superior physical abilities opened the door for Marion to receive a sports scholarship to play football at the University of Southern California. He quickly became a promising talent on the field and poured all his future dreams into a professional sports career. But a serious accident while surfing at the beach caused severe injuries, forcing him to abandon his passion for sports, resulting in the loss of his scholarship and the inability to complete his studies at the university. A bitter failure right at the threshold of life plunged the young man into unemployment, forcing him to seek any manual labor to survive in the harsh economic climate. He was introduced to Fox Film Corporation through the help of his former coach, Howard Jones, where he took on jobs moving props and working as a prop-carrying assistant on set. At this busy new workplace, the young man's diligence caught the eye of director John Ford, who would later become his confidant and greatest mentor in his career. The young Morrison began to be given a number of non-speaking extra roles, working and quietly observing the workings of a professional film production. The major turning point came when director Raoul Walsh noticed his natural demeanor and decided to give him his first leading role in the large-scale historical film project, The Big Trail. Before filming officially began, studio director Winfield Sheehan demanded that he change his birth name, believing that Marion Morrison was unsuitable for the image of a man defending justice on screen. The studio management unanimously chose the name John Wayne, a name deeply rooted in American spirit, to introduce him to the film-loving public. Despite the enormous production budget, the film was a disastrous box office failure, directly plunging Wayne into a long period of struggle, lasting nearly a decade in B-movie studios. He had to accept roles in dozens of low-quality westerns to make a living, but it was this arduous period that honed his horsemanship, his mastery of firearms, and his unwavering resilience in the face of adversity. The journey from an unknown porter through repeated failures. To prove himself, forged an unshakable iron will in John Wayne. The first bricks laid amidst the dust of B-grade film sets laid the solid foundation for the emergence of a great pop culture icon. This man may have had a life full of upheavals and controversies, but the way he left this world with a gentle whisper to his daughter proves that a man's greatest strength lies not in his toughness against the world, but in the warmth of those he loves. If the story of the final chapter of the Duke's life resonated with you, please support the video with a like, share it with fellow film enthusiasts, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next in-depth reports. Did John Wayne's simple last words change your perspective on this icon? Leave your comments below to discuss with us. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, and see you again.